Everyone, it's Sean. I'm here at SHOT Show 2023 over here at the Lalo booth. I want to introduce you to Jay here. Had a lot of experience with Lalo. It's all been great. So finally wanted to get on camera, get a little bit of history on the company.
Perfect. Thanks, Sean. My name is Jay Taylor. I'm the CEO of Lalo. Sean asked us to give you a little bit of preview as to how the whole company came together and what the foundation was for the brand. It was started in 2009 by a few industry veterans and a Navy SEAL. The idea was to build a better mousetrap around an amphibious product so that you could get in the water, across the beach, do the operation, get back in, and get back to safety without having your footwear go squish, squish, squish. So the real sweet spot for us is we build product that drains. So we can show you in a few minutes how the boot functions and how the drainage works and how it fits in a swim fin, et cetera. But we really had no boundaries and no rules as to what kind of product we wanted to build. So we, with our designer and developer, both of them which we knew from another project, we started to be able to dig down into to building a different product that was kind of unique to the marketplace. So in essence, the marquee product we have is called the Shadow Amphibian, and the whole idea behind that was making sure we had a product that would make you faster, use less energy. We considered weight into the equation as well to make sure that we were more efficient. And really, the whole brand is our ethos is to be able to build lighter, faster, stronger product to get you to where you need to go quicker.
And I currently use Lalo products in my footwear for when I compete. I started out with the Shadow boot. Absolutely loved it. Still have them. I've been running them for a solid 5 or 6 years now, and they're still in one piece. I've also branched out. The other thing that I wanted to ask, you guys aren't just military or government contracts.
Correct. We find our customers come from two different ways. They'll either buy a set of boots for work or get issued a set of boots for work, and then they'll come back and buy an athletic shoe or a training shoe from us for their leisure time, or vice versa. They'll purchase that athletic shoe and then will then go buy or request the boots to be issued at work. So we play in both the tactical space, but also in the athletic space. The idea being for us is we wanted to have a system that kind of came together that helped you not only get aerobically fit with some of our running shoes, but functional fitness shoes to help you weight train and strength train, et cetera. And then a boot that you can go work in, whether it be in the water, in the desert, whatever sort of substrate you needed to have to go get your job done, or shooting, shooting competitions.
Yeah, I looked into running into them in a booth here at SHOT Show several years ago. And right now I run their all-terrain trainers, which I absolutely love. Grip is amazing. Support is absolutely the best, even with a low-top shoe.
Yes.
Um,
We can run you through some product if you like.
yeah,
Show
please.
you what's what. All right. Without further ado, our main product line is composed of three parts. So all of the shoes or boots we make has a frame to it, which is either a full rubber or a lightweight rubber EVA or rubber material. They'll have some sort of arch component to it. We can vary the material depending on the usage. So we can change the compound to make it grip differently if it's going to be in the water versus on a harder substrate like in the hard rock or indoors. Then, so that's kind of the protective piece to it. The next layer that goes in is an EVA midsole. And what's unique about it is we split the EVA in two when we manufacture it. So the rear portion of the EVA, when you're standing, has got a little bit of a softer component to it. It's a 45 shore EVA. And then in the forefoot, it's a 50 shore EVA. So what it means is when you go to toe off or you go to move, it gives you some propulsion that's baked in. So you don't get a lag time between standing somewhere and then needing to move. Because it's a hurry up and wait game. And when you need to move, you kind of need to move. And
Absolutely.
so those two pieces go together to create what we call the outsole. And then kind of the secret sauce in the whole thing is a composite plate that goes in over top, which acts as our lasting board as well, which also gives it a rocker shape. So we did some testing with our product versus some competitors and using a company called Felux, which is a little footwear lab in Santa Barbara, California. And our footwear is about 20% more efficient in just street clothes when you walk in it And then by the time you put a 35, 40-pound backpack on, it becomes 40 to 45% more efficient. So you use that much less energy to walk 1 mile, for example. So
Wow.
over 1 mile in street clothes, you're about 20% more efficient. And the idea being is that if you're operating, by the time you get to target, you've used less energy, so you're fresher to go do your job.
Hmm.
So hopefully, in a game where time and space matters, we've given you a competitive advantage.
Absolutely.
So you put all these things together, and you've got a pretty solid midsole, outsole component system to it. All the heel edges and forefoot edges are rounded so that you don't get a clunk clunk sensation from foot strike to toe off. It's a very smooth rolling sensation, and the materials are meant to be durable, to last anywhere between what would be a 6-month window for our kind of upper end elite style product to a year, year and a half for some of the other kind of everyday products we make along the way.
Okay. One of the other things I actually found out with these soles was on the outside of the foot, there's a little bit of a shelf. And one of the things that I always worry about being a bigger guy is rolling and twisting ankles. And I found with all the shoes that I've tested for Lalo, I have to try hard to get my foot to roll. And that's been a saving grace, especially trying to cut corners, shooting matches, and running from position to position.
It's 100% a big deal. Our sort of flagship product, kind of number one selling SKU is called Shadow Amphibian. The unique components about the amphibian is it's got drainage ports inside the sole, so it takes the water in from the top or from the sides, and then it as you step down, it sort of forces it out of the outsole, so you don't get any noise when you walk in it. It's quite silent,
Oh, okay.
and the boot drains and becomes dry quite quickly. We know that virtually in every scenario that you either operating or day-to-day use, you're going to get wet. Your feet perspire between 6 and 12 ounces of moisture a day. So it's how fast can we get the moisture away from your foot to keep your feet as dry as possible.
Absolutely.
So the grills on the side are all vented. So there's an air exchange that happens through like a radiator on the side of the boot. And the toe caps are all a carbonized rubber so that you get some protection around the toe cap. The lining materials are a carbonized bamboo material called Shrek Dry. So it wicks moisture away from the foot as well and helps it work with the kind of the radiators on the side of the boot that help evacuate moisture out of the foot.
Okay.
So it looks like a kind of a high top running shoe, and it looks like something that is not quite a tactical boot, but there's a lot of thought and science that went in it to make it what it is. So we did it all to fit inside an Apollo fin or pretty much any swim fin that you would use as an operator. Boot fits in. We designed the nose cap around it, make sure that it's not too big to get there. So that's where it all started for us. And then we've sort of branched out to build some other products along the way, including our combat product here. We took a 1970s era jungle boot and reimagined the Panama sole for a 2022, 2023 operator. And we made a UCB, it's a uniform compliant product.
Okay.
And in order to make it as durable as possible, but still keep all the technology in it, the midsole and outsole technology is all the same as an amphibian, so it still has drainage ports in it, so it evacuates moisture really easily. So if you're in a hot environment, working in the desert, you're you're sweating a lot, feet stay relatively dry, or as dry as possible. We made it a cup sole, which simply means that the whole upper sits down and turns into the bottom unit, and we can stitch it on. So it's got not only glued, but it's glued and stitched, so the boots will never kind of come apart during heat or any sort of major incursion that you would incur. And it's got a speed lace system, so to get in and out of it super quick. And all the laces tuck up under a little lace pocket, so everything's hidden away nice and neat. And the boot's gusseted all the way up to the top, so there's no debris that's ever going to get into it along the way.
Okay.
Still all lined with Trek Dry material, so it's nice and dry inside of your feet. And then we made sure we got a fairly grippy rubber, but it also lasts a long time as well. And we increased the depths of the Panama sole and sort of gave it a funkier, a little bit of funkier look to it. So we're pretty stoked with this one. And we launched this last year and completely year before last, and completely underestimated demand. So we got all the kinks worked out that we wanted to on our first production, and we're bringing
Awesome.
some of the stuff along the way.
Yeah, I think this is the only one here that actually looks like a boot.
Pretty much. We then had some success about 2019. We had an operator come in and ask for a product that was basically a croc. Like says, I want a bottom of a croc, but I want the upper of a jungle boot to be able to operate in warm environments.
Okay.
So we sort of took the idea and ran with it and said, okay, well, the croc's not going to work, but we need to figure out how to get an upper on the thing. So we took our Zodiac Recon AT bottom unit, which is basically a running shoe bottom unit, and we put a lightweight style upper on the thing. So it's still a 600 denier Cordura. We make it in multicam, black, and coyote, and we put a running shoe bottom on it. So it's probably arguably one of the most comfortable tactical boots that are out there, but it's a very quick boot to run in or to operate in. So it takes the best of the athletic world and takes the good parts of the tactical pieces and sort of marries them together. And so we brought this to market in 2021 and quickly, again, screwed up the demand forecasting,
Yeah.
but it became an instant hit. So we've got operators in Canada, the US, France, Italy, Norway, Sweden, pretty much all the way
All
across
over,
the Western world that are using this product on a day-to-day basis. And what they like about it is it's light on their feet. They are comfortable in it. They're able to maneuver like you are in your shooting matches. And they don't have any sort of back pain or any sort of body ache issues at the end of the day, because they've essentially been wearing a running shoe for the past 8 hours or 10 hours or during their operational window. So we're pretty stoked about
I
it.
can completely attest to that. These are actually what I wear for matches for the last year. It's very lightweight. Looks like it would be flimsy, but it really isn't. It's very comfortable. A lot of support. I could wear those all day.
All of our shoes have a rocker component to them. So if you put them sort of base to base, you see that the shoes are easy to roll the toe off quite well, but there's a good flat spot in the middle so that if you're standing there, you've got a good base of support to stand on, but it's easy to get the toe off to start moving. So it's a pretty nice functional shoe.
Absolutely.
We also make it in a 6-inch version, which is right here. Sorry. Shorter cuff, so we have a 9-inch and a 6-inch version along the way. So you can go out there and rip around and do your thing. Super fun.
And here's the great thing about these. See me, I'm not a little guy. It's really hard to find shoes in my size that will actually withstand the kind of punishment that I put them through. And you guys are going to be going up to a 16.
Making 16s.
So even you giants out there, you got it. You got some comfortable shoes you can fit into.
We're doing big guy sizing. Well, a new offer that we've got coming that is just on the water now is our new woven upper in what we call a Zodiac Recon ATX. So the X just stands for woven from us. It's the next iteration of our Zodiac Recon AT. Same bottom unit as what we see in the Rapid Assault. Same technology, that the drainage is in the midsole and outsole, but we put a woven upper on the top of the thing. Woven uppers give us the little bit ability to manufacture a little quicker, and we can also sprinkle in some more exotic materials. So we're just working on a version that's got some Spectra Dynama in it, seeing how that sort of works out. We've got some stuff we're working on with Perspire as well, which are all abrasion resistant materials and cut proof and cut resistant, so that you get a little bit of extra longevity out of the piece of footwear if you're operating.
Nice.
And we make it in 2 cuff heights, like a regular cuff, and then something that you'll see more out on a football or cleated space with a sock liner to it as well that's woven in, so that it keeps all the debris out of the shoe. And if you're operating or shooting or you're moving and you break a lace or laces come undone, the shoe's not going to come off your foot because it's got an integrated sock liner around it. And
Oh, nice.
it completely stays on your feet. So you can wear these bare feet, go swimming, put them in a swim fin, get in and out of the water super fast. They dry extremely quickly, and it's a nice lightweight shoe.
Nice. Yeah, definitely a lot of applications for that.
And it's still got the dual zone EVA in it, and you'll see on the bottom we color code it, so it's got a softer material to stand around in, and when you go to move off the forefoot, it's got a stiffer EVA, so you don't with all the rocker. So yeah, nice and comfortable, good looking shoes. Last one we make is a grinder and a bloodbird. The grinder shoe, we as part of the system, so we've got you stuff to operate in, we've got you stuff to stay aerobically fit in. Then lastly is our gym shoes. The whole idea behind the shoe is we wanted to give you a great connection to the ground, and the designer we use is he's did a lot of work for Nike, Adidas, uh, super smart guy. Kyle's done an amazing job working on a lot of the projects. And so the outsole technology was designed to make you have a stronger connection to the ground. So most of the time when you scoop away the arch, it just reduces the amount of surface area you have to stay connected. So we went the opposite way and made the arch area of the shoe a little bit bigger. So when you wear it, you feel super connected to the gym floor or to the surface you're standing on. It's a lightweight EVA, but we've got rubber pods in there as well, so it adds traction for you. The shoes are under 9 ounces. The woven upper on the thing is a little bit of a tighter weave. We use the grinder for any sort of CrossFit style functions that you want to have. And the Bloodbird is a little bit more of a, it's got a little bit more support to it. So if you're doing directional stuff or heavy weights or you're doing back squats, etc., Bloodbird shoes for you. They also make this outsole a little bit stiffer on the Bloodbird than we do the grinder.
Okay.
About 5 shore EVA. So it's a little more robust shoe.
I have the older versions of these, and this is the nice thing about these. They're gym shoes, which go in, lift heavy, all well and good. But you can walk out of the gym at the same time with them and wear them all day. I actually wore mine all day here at SHOT Show yesterday and was doing better than the boots that I'm wearing right now. So it is an everyday shoe that you can wear as well.
Super comfortable product, easy, lightweight, and it feels like a second skin. So it doesn't actually feel like you're wearing a shoe. It's like an extra sock that you're wearing with some protection on the bottom unit. And then the last stuff we have is out of our amphibian line is we redesigned our shoe we call the Hydro Recon. It shares the bottom unit with the Bloodbird and Grinder, but the midsole is all perforated, so the water comes directly out of the sole of the boot. And it's a 1.5 millimeter neoprene with a hot melt on it, so it adds some support, and a 4-foot strap so that if you're swimming or you're putting it in a swim fin, it gives you some protection on the top of the foot. Zipper to get in and out.
Okay.
This is a standard issue product down at Naval Special Warfare. They issue it in the BUDS program. It keeps the guys warm when they're in the water. So their feet don't freeze, but still gives them some protection to come out and run on the beach. It's also great for paddleboarding and around the California coast where there's rocky coastlines where you need to kind of get in and out. Or we sell a lot of them to fly fishers as well as they're getting in and out of the water and they don't necessarily want to wear waders.
Yeah, and I can see that as a great like camping, hiking shoe where you're going through rivers and stuff like that too.
Yeah, it's kind of a good Swiss Army knife style product. And, so if you look closely and you watch Aquaman, there's a few of them floating around the Aquaman movie.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that now.
Go sort it out, but it's our Hydro Recon product, so
that's
super fun. Keeps you warm when you're out there doing stuff in the wet. But beyond that,
so plenty of variety, plenty of options depending on what you're looking for. They have a shoe that'll work. Thank you for taking the time. It's been a pleasure working with you guys these last few years.
Always pleasure.
Yeah, every year I get out here at SHOT Show. This is one of my first stops. So
Bigman Tactical, they always bring it. Appreciate it.
Thanks
you
very
guys.
much.